Anthropic just released Opus 4.7, but everyone is missing so many different factors, so let's get into what you all missed. So one of the first things I saw was that they released these quote-unquote benchmarks of what Opus 4.7 is. What you have to understand is that Opus 4.7 isn't exactly the smartest AI across the board, so let's dive into all of the factors. So first of all, I've actually updated the image to show you guys the real benchmarks of where Opus 4.7 is actually a smarter model. We can see it's a smarter model across coding, across agentic tool use, and visual reasoning. Now do remember that because that will become an important factor later on in the video. And when I show you what this real release of Opus 4.7 actually is and what everyone missed, you'll actually be pretty surprised that you didn't realize it sooner. So let's dive into each one of these benchmarks and understand the actual changes. So one of the first areas that we know that the model is definitively better, and we'll get into this more after, is visual navigation. So essentially they're looking at, can the model actually drive a computer by looking at a screen? And this one is important because essentially what we do want here is the model to not only perform better at this, but of course, when we're looking to the future in terms of what we want from AI models, the reason that we need this is for stuff like browser use, where they're clicking around the internet, trying to do what humans do. So essentially, Opus 4.7, what they've tried to do here is improve its agentic capabilities at reading UIs and reliably clicking the right thing. So when you're wiring this tool into a layer, when you want to, control an app from plain English, this is essentially an improvement in that area that I think is rather important. Now, it does go to show here that the improvement with tools isn't that much, which is a little bit surprising. But like I said, these benchmarks, I will get into all of this reasoning. Now, of course, here, we do have document reasoning, which is up pretty significantly. So this is where it can read a bunch of different documents and reason over them. And so Opus 4.7 clearly here is in a different league from everything else on the chart, including Opus 4.6 and Fronter, OpenAI, and Google models. Now, this one is rather surprising because usually the models have always gravitated to the same, but it's very clear that there has been a massive jump. So I'm not exactly sure. I wasn't able to find out exactly how Opus 4.7 is managing to parse the PDFs, the different financials and documents and contracts and reports. But clearly, this shows an emphasis on improvement over multiple different documents and a clear improvement ahead, meaning that for Opus 4.7, it is a no-brainer now that if you're going to use this model, this is the model that you use when you have multiple different documents, okay? And I'm sure if some of you guys are familiar with, applications like Cowork, then this becomes even more evident. As in Cowork, you are essentially reasoning over multiple different documents that exist on your desktop computer, and it's allowed to edit them and get back work. So an 80% score on that is very impressive, which makes this benchmark much more reliable. So I guess you could kind of call this a Cowork benchmark, which I don't think most people did realize. Now, once again, we do have long-term coherence. And why did Anthropic actually focus on this? And remember, guys, this section is just focusing on areas where there is actually a key difference, not a minor difference. So these are the things which actually matter for the model. So long-term coherence, basically, this is how the model sticks to a long-term messy plan without losing the plot. And so what that means here is that if you give the model a simulated environment like running a vending machine, which it is in this benchmark, you essentially measure how much money it ends up with at the end. So of course, it's basically based on that balance. And so if it forgets goals, mistracks states, or makes inconsistent choices, it will end up with less. Now, essentially, the reason I've actually added this to the video is because we can see clearly that this is a, significant jump here from $8K to around $11,000. That is a real improvement. And so that's actually a 36% increase in the final balance. So we do know that once again, one of the key focus areas for Opus 4.7 is that long-term coherence. And realistically, this isn't really about vending machines or any of that kind of stuff. This is about agentic performance on long horizon tasks. As you do know, Anthropic's main goal is to essentially make AI that does work that humans would do. And in doing so, you need to be able to have tasks that can be run over a longer time horizon. So when we see model updates from Anthropic, it should be no surprise that machines like the vending machine benchmark and other benchmarks that measure this long-term coherence are going to be the ones where we see the most meaningful progression. Other benchmark areas have not only been saturated, but are no longer the target goal for companies like Anthropic because they're not going to yield them any more, results in terms of what their customers actually want. Essentially, what you guys have to understand is that Opus 4.6 is a model that is focusing on agentic AI work for employees rather than just being a cool model that the average person can use. And so if you want to take this a step further, I can actually prove this with several different things. And this is where you start to get into what everyone absolutely missed. And I think the key point I'm going to drive home in today's video is that everyone missed that this is not just another AI release. This is an upgrade to a model that is mainly focused on agentic work for enterprise AI companies. Now, that may have just confused you a little bit, but what I mean here is that Anthropic isn't really focused on servicing users like us. The person like me and you who use these models, and I'm going to get into this GDPval in a moment, are no longer Anthropic's main customers. The main customers are enterprise companies who are actually paying full price for tokens and who can actually pay for the compute. So what we can see here is the GDPval, and we can see that Opus 4.6 actually went from second to first place after today's upgrade. Now remember, the GDPval is probably one of the most important benchmarks right now because it's what current AI companies are now optimizing for. The other benchmarks that we used to look at, like the MMMU and all of those other standard benchmarks, are pretty much useless in today's economy. The only thing that really matters for these AI companies is how well can these AI agents perform tasks that otherwise humans would do. And the GDPval is arguably the very best metric to track this at scale. So Opus 4.7 scored a 1753 on the GDPval at launch with its max effort setting, surpassing GPT-4 extra high. That's the significant upgrade that most people are missing here, and we'll get into more of this in a moment. So you have to understand that the GDPval basically stands for gross domestic product, and the tasks are drawn from occupations and industries that contribute heavily to the United States GDP. So the scores are tied to actual economic value, not abstract puzzles. Now, the benchmark contains 1,300 tasks, and a 220 gold subset is open sourced and auto-graded via certain evals. Now, the tasks actually span major industries like finance, insurance, healthcare, and manufacturing, and each task is based on real deliverables, real briefs, and real projects. So when you take a look at this is the only benchmark that Anthropic will care about. But here's something that you must understand. For Opus 4.7, unfortunately, this doesn't actually mean that this model will be better for everyone as a whole. I mean, if you're just using this for certain projects, it may not actually be good for you to use Opus 4.7, and this is what people are missing. I mean, I'm going to even add more to this point. Take a look at the Val's AI index. Opus 4.7 is now number 1 with a significant increase from the previous Opus 4.6. You can see that the Val's index is 71%, the multimodal index is 70%, the Val's finance agent is up to 65%, the vibe coding bench, the terminal bench, and the case law v2, all of these have had significant improvements of 5 to 10% or more, which means that once again, when you look at the benchmarks that are measuring real economic growth in terms of the tasks that they're able to do, these are the benchmarks that Anthropic isn't really showing everyone, or should I say focusing on, but prioritizing them behind the scenes. Now, this is why I say everyone missed this, because right now, if you go onto Twitter, you will see an entire cohort of individuals saying that Opus 4.7 is absolutely terrible. And the thing is, they aren't wrong when they say this. You see, remember last time when OpenAI released GPT 5.2, and honestly, everyone said that the model was a big downgrade. Now, this is happening once again. The last time OpenAI released a model, GPT 5.2, and it was absolutely terrible, the problem is that the model didn't focus on the areas that the average user may use. So when they released the model, they prioritized coding and reasoning and GDP valuations, but the problem is that is a trade-off. Unfortunately, AIs are essentially jagged in the sense that when you have exceptional capabilities in one area, sometimes other situations lag. And you can see that even Sam Altman said that they actually messed up GPT 5.2 because of this, and because they tried to over-prioritize. And once again, this is what we're seeing with Opus 4.7. Now, of course, there may be regressions for other reasons, which we'll get into in a moment, but you can see the jagged frontier. This is a chart between Opus 4.6 and 4.7 thinking, what most people tend to fail to realize here is that it isn't just a better model across the board, it's only best on half areas, only realistically best in areas if you're an enterprise, which is why I say the Opus 4.7 is an enterprise model that is probably not for the average user who's using it right now. And whether or not you think that is currently ethical or how you want to view that, that is completely up to you. If you do look at the jagged frontier, you can see that the areas where Opus 4.7 is better is areas like, the software services, IT, physical, social sciences, other text areas where it's expert, and of course coding. But you can see certain other areas where it just doesn't really do that well. For example, in the entertainment, sports, and media, you can see that it doesn't really work as well. So you have to understand that this is a model that is specifically designed to push the bounds of what is good for enterprise, not what is good for the average US user. Now, I want to quickly add this concept to the video because it's something that I think is important if you're in the AI world. You need to understand what is called the jagged frontier. Now this is a graphic illustration from Ethan Mollick, and his argument is essentially that AI improves in not a smooth human-like way. It essentially gets really good at some hard things while still failing at other tasks that seem simple to us. And this is what the jagged frontier is. Now, you might hear this term floating around all the time, but you may have not understood it. And this is the point I'm trying to drive home. As capabilities increase, this will likely happen more and more as the models start to get even better. Now, the problem with Opus 4.7 as well is that this is not the only reason why the model feels worse in certain areas. Like I said before, many people are reporting that they perhaps nerfed the model. And yes, the nerf is real. You can see here that it says my entire feed and the Claude subreddit is full of people saying Opus got nerfed. Why would Anthropic nerf its own model? So this is something that many people may have asked. Why would Anthropic on purpose reduce the capability of its own models? And I honestly know that this is 100% the case without a doubt, because I've been using Opus 4.6 and 4.7 now in some of my daily workflows, and I noticed a significant degradation in the performance of these models within the past week. Now, whilst yes, you could argue that that is purely qualitative data, you asking someone how they feel the model is, unless you have the quantitative data from a benchmark to back that up, there is no way you're able to know if it's just you. But we can actually take a look at the real data from organizations reporting inside Anthropic themselves. And this is why Opus 4.7, which I'll get into in a moment, might not be as good as you think. The Wall Street Journal actually covered the Anthropic compute capacity problems and issues. Anthropic, the maker of popular chatbot Claude and viral coding app Claude Code, has been plagued by recent frequent outages. The company has begun metering computing supply to users during peak hours, but the rollout has been marred by customers who have complained they're reaching their limit far too quickly. So Anthropic themselves have basically said that, look, there have been recent frequent outages and they've begun metering compute supply during peak hours. Why would they do this? Because compute is not only expensive, it's something that they need to keep their company going so they can continue to train new models and advance ahead of the competition. But in doing so, the problem is that they don't have enough compute for our daily usage. And if you think I'm crazy or the Twitter sphere is just in their own bubble, take a look at what the AMD Senior Director of AI thinks. They've said that Claude has regressed and that it cannot be trusted to perform complex engineering. And as the Reddit comment says, this is vindicating for all of the people that have been screaming out that Anthropic simply doesn't just want to release Mythos because they do not have the compute. So we have to understand that Opus 4.7, whilst yes, it is a step up in terms of capabilities, the model isn't as good as we do think, because currently we are essentially getting rate limited in terms of the compute. And I'm going to explain to you guys exactly the proof of this. You see, Anthropic currently does have their Mythos model, which is a much more powerful model than Opus 4.7 and Opus 4.6. But recently, Anthropic decided to roll out Mythos to large enterprises for non-general users. So essentially what they've said is that it is in, preview and it's being deployed through Glasswing to a small set of partners. So all they're doing is they're essentially releasing the big compute-intensive models for companies like Microsoft, Google, JP Morgan, Nvidia, all the companies you can see on screen right now. But in terms of us users, the daily users who use Claude, we are actually currently getting rate limited and reason limited, which means that Opus 4.7, what you're missing is that this release is not as good as the others. Let me show you guys why. Anthropic recently did something sneaky so that they can continue to provide compute for these companies, but not for the average user. So one of the things that everyone missed is that the pricing may seem that this is the same. On paper, Opus 4.7 and 4.6 have identical list pricing, 5 million per input tokens and $25 per million output tokens. The effective cost difference comes from the new tokenizer in 4.7. You see, Opus 4.7 maps the same text to about 1 times to 1.35 times as many tokens at 4.6, which actually means that although the pricing is the same, you actually get a 35% higher real cost on the same prompts and outputs, even though the per token price is unchanged. So the list price equals the same. In practice, you can expect up to 35% more expensive per request for the same workload, depending on how your content tokenizes, which is absolutely awful for anyone who is trying to use this for their daily workflows. Currently, if you had a specific budget of compute where you used to use this maybe for specific tasks, now you'll probably find that you're reaching your compute limits much faster, which is absolutely frustrating for users who just hopped on the pro tier or even max tier because you were promised a specific price, and Anthropic have said in their documents that the pricing is the same, but they've actually changed the tokenizer, so now it costs 35% more across the board, well, up to that amount. Do you not think that is a little bit shady? And I mean, this is why many individuals are starting to feel quote unquote robbed, considering that this sneaky pricing isn't really publicly known. It's just something that they kind of put in the fine print. And so when you're even using Opus 4.7, right now it's called adaptive reasoning, and you can't really turn on the high reasoning because, like I said, right now they are busy serving compute to all the current top end companies, which is why many people suspect that Opus 4.7 isn't as good as it could be, and in some areas it isn't performing as well. One clear example of this is, take a look at SimpleBench. This is the benchmark that asks trick questions that require common sense reasoning rather than memorized facts, and models must avoid being misled by common traps. Now, you have to understand that this is probably one of the more robust benchmarks in terms of realizing just how smart an AI model is. But would you look at that? Claude Opus 4.6 gets a 67% score, whereas Opus 4.7 gets a 62% score. Why is there such a regression in the model if it is far better? I don't know. Maybe they're limiting certain reasoning aspects. You can also see here on RepoBench, Opus 4.7 scores meaningfully worse than 4.6 did, which is rather surprising. And once again, you can see that Opus 4.7 scores worse on the bullshit bench. And this is an evaluation designed to test whether AI models can recognize and reject nonsensical questions instead of confidently answering them. So to summarize what I've been saying in this video, it's quite clear that Opus 4.7 is a leap in terms of capabilities for agentic use, but in any other area, you would probably argue that this model just doesn't perform that well. Not only one, because of the jagged frontier in terms of how AI models tend to scale, but number two, Anthropic are severely limiting individuals' usage of the models in terms of the ability to not only turn on thinking, but just raw reasoning capability. And this isn't just something that people are thinking by themselves, it's something that many individual users have seen. And we know for a fact since Anthropic have actually changed and turned off the extended mode, so it's now only adaptive thinking with a 35% increase in price. So that's what everyone missed. If you enjoyed the video,